Hello, IACL fans out there. Welcome back to another video. I'm H Trainer Josh. I will be bringing you my week 2 team builder versus Yams and the Blackthorn Bagons, something like that. Yeah, for week 2, I plan on coming back with a win after losing 2-0 to Brian Mega Pincer after he got 6 kills against me after we were up 6-2. So yeah, I plan on, making a comeback and making sure I can fully prepare to every single Pokemon that Yams has on his team. So without further ado, let's go over Yams' team. His team consists of Charizard, Magnezone, Umbreon, Whimsicott, Hitmontop, Rhyperior, and his last 4 Pokemon consist of Weezing, Braviary, Gothorita, and last but certainly not the very least, his free agent, which was Suicune. Which let me tell you, I don't have really good memories of Suicune. I don't like it. I hate going up against it. Last season I went up against it, and let me just say I had to take drastic measures to make sure I just didn't get 6-0 by it. So yeah, my team is the same old. But just in case you don't know what my team is, I'll go over it with you right now as we speak. Yes, we'll do a little bit of one-on-one talk with my team because I have to admit I don't remember my team sometimes too. So I don't blame you if you guys don't know it. Anyways, my team consists of Azumarill, Latios, Bronzong, Celebi, Emboar, Sharpedo, Licky Licky, Staraptor, Mega Beedrill, and last but certainly not the very least, Raichu. So yeah, looking at his team, I saw the potential for Latios because he does have a lot of switch-ins for Draco Meteor slash Psyshock because his fairy is a Whimsicott, which does get to a KO by Psyshock depending on the spread. I'm pretty sure any form gets to a KO, even physically defensive though. Well, after rocks at least. But that's off the top of my head. I actually don't know. I might actually do more. I might do less. You can correct me if you want. But yeah, looking at his team, I felt like Latios definitely had some potential to run through his team. But I also noticed how I need Stealth Rock to make sure I ensure some KOs. For example, Sturdy Magnezone, or just to break some potential, like 12% on the Whimsicott to ensure 2 KOs, 12% on the Umbreon, which will really come into play once you see later on, especially in my like according to my calcs at least, you'll be able to see it, like what it does. And he has and especially his Charizard, like his 4 times weak Pokemon is his Mega, and then it's a Mega that I'm pretty sure he will bring because I don't have a lot for DD Charizard X. So I'm pretty sure he would bring it, especially since they could set up on Pokemon such as Celebi. Even if I do have Earth Power, it can just roost it off pretty easily, and I'd have to be fully offensive to even do a good amount to it. So, yeah, without further ado, I'll show you the team that I'm bringing against Yams 3.5 minutes into the video. Hopefully that wasn't too long of an explanation. And, yeah, we're bringing some heat, and I'll go over to Azumarill last because, it's the pretty most self-explanatory Pokemon. Well, not most self-explanatory, but the most heat and the one that's probably most important to the entire match. The first Pokemon I'm going with right now is my Beedrill, my Mega Beedrill, and we're rocking the Adamant Nature, 160 speed to outspeed and max speed Whimsicott. Not that I'm afraid of Whimsicott, and even though he could just stun spore me, I just want to make sure I'm faster than his fastest Pokemon. That way I can, scout for Scarf if he does kill me with it, but I do have Protect to scout for Scarfs, so yeah, that's kind of, what I'm that's the point of Protect on this thing, really. With Drill Run, Poison Jab, and U-Turn, Drill Run because it OKOs the Magnezone if it's not sturdy after rocks, it automatically kills unless he's the ground reduced Sugar Berry, unless he's Sugar Berry, which could be it could be a thing. Rocking the max attack, 96 HP with an odd number to make sure I can take 5 Stealth Rock switch-ins without any damage input. And Beedrill is a Pokemon that just it gets in there, it hits, and it U-turns out. So it's really good at doing the 5 Stealth Rock switch-ins, because it's a one-hit wonder. Kind of like kind of like my freaking, what was the last Pokemon? So Staraptor, like Staraptor. Anyways, Yeah, my self like I have U-turns. I can U-turn out on his wheezing or his Fear if he brings it. I have a feeling he will bring either one of them because he doesn't have a lot of switch-ins for poison jab slash U-turn. His Suicune doesn't want to take damage. His Umbreon is weak to my stab. Which by the way, even at Adamant Nature, if he's fully specially defensive with 4 defense investment, U-turn does 87 to 103%. So if he's physically defensive, he'll always live U-turn, no matter what, really. So yeah. Anyways, he might not know that unless he's specially defensive during the match. That'd be kind of good. But But if anyways, what was I gonna say? If I had to predict the team that he was gonna bring against me, it would consist of Charizard X, Magnezone because it traps my Bronzong, and but that's if he brings Magnepool. I kind of suspect the Sturdy actually. Anyways, I expect the Umbreon because it walls a lot of my Pokemon besides the Mega Beedrill and my Azumarill if it was fully offensive, and it can take hits from Latios unless I'm Calm Mind, but it can just foul play me and that'll do a good amount of damage. It might 2 KO me actually. Even with 0 attack investment with like a modest nature, I believe it foul play might 3 KO me. So yeah, that's still a problem, especially if he has like toxic with foul play. That just becomes a humongous problem. And even at +3, Draco Meteor doesn't kill a standard Umbreon. So that was kind of my logic on why he would bring Umbreon. And it also eats hits from my Sharpedo and even Walls Celebi to an extent, even though if I'm defensive, foul play won't do a lot. But yeah, anyways, going on to his team. I'm rambling on and on right now. He will bring the Zardex, he will bring the Magnezone, and I believe he will bring the Umbreon. Whipsicott was kind of a toss-up. It kind of gets walled by my Bronzong, gets destroyed by Gyro Ball, and Celebi can handle it pretty well. And that's pretty like I don't think it serves too much of a purpose. It can stun sport my fast Pokemon like my Latios or my Mega Beedrill, or just pressure Latios with Moonblast because it does outspeed my Latios. But I didn't think he would bring it. It was a chance that he would, but that was just my opinion. Hitmontop, if he did bring it, it was definitely his Rapid Spinner. If he doesn't bring it, he doesn't have any hazard removal unless he's the Fog Zard X or the Fog Braviary, which I don't suspect him to bring at all this season. So if he doesn't bring the Hitmontop, it's good because it puts a lot of pressure on his Zard, and it gives me more incentive to set up my Stealth Rock with my Bronzong, as you'll see later on. And what else do I have? Okay, so that's the fourth. Well, he will bring the Raffier or the Weezy, like I said, because he doesn't want Beedrill to just run through his team. Because he does, I'm pretty sure he knows Magnezone gets. Beedrill gets drill run, so I'm pretty sure he doesn't want his Magnezone to be a switch-in because you don't want that to be a switch-in. So yeah, he will probably bring the Rhyperior or the Weezing and the Hitmontop, of course, because of Intimidate isn't a bad option. The Gothorita, I don't suspect that at all. The Braviary, if he does bring it, I could suspect the setup Pokemon. The setup Braviary to set up on my Bronzong, and I don't want to get set up on because I don't want to bring Rock Slide, and even then, after a couple bulk ups, Rock Slide doesn't do a lot to a sub, and I don't really want to run Rock Slide because it doesn't fulfill too much, and I kind of already have a bunch of slots there, so I didn't want to do that. So if he does bring Braviary, I do suspect a bulk up set for my Braviary or a Scarf set because as you see on my team, once my Bronzong dies, I don't have a switch in for Brave Bird. And at base 80 speed with a Jolly Nature, he outspeeds everything on my team that isn't Scarfed. So yeah, that's a problem, in my opinion, of course. Well, if I did bring Jolly Beedrill, I would outspeed, but that was that was the risk I was willing to take. That's the risk I'm willing to take, actually. Okay, now Gothorita, I don't suspect to bring Gothorita. And the Suicune, he could bring it. It could be the setup variant. It could be a Roar variant with Scald. I do suspect that a defensive variant so he can handle my Beedrill, but it does put a lot of pressure on his Suicune if I U-turn and go into Lottie or Celebi. So that's a couple of things that might stop him from bringing it. But the top 6 Pokemon that I believe he will bring, his first 3 Zardex, Magnezone, Umbreon, Rhyperior, or the Weezing, Braviary, because it's Scarf and it could run for my team and everything else. He could bring the Whimsicott, he could bring the Hitmontop, but I don't think he'll bring the Gothorita or the Suicune. But yeah, that's my opinion. Now back onto my team. U-turn for incentive, Poison Jab for a general stab. It kills offensive Zardex after rocks, so that's something to note. It kills Whimsicott with Poison Jab after like 100% of the time, but I kind of have to take a stun spore if I stay in, and I don't want that to happen. Braviary, because if it's not Scarf, Poison Jab will do a good amount. Suicune Poison Jab will do like 35% at the most if it's defensive, fully defensive, which I would suspect if he did bring it. So yeah, and then Drill Run for the Magnet Zone, Protect for Scouting, and my Speed Boost before I Mega, unless I don't need it, of course. Now my next Pokemon is my JJ Delatios. I almost brought it last week. It could have actually saved me the game, but according to my calc, Item and Quick Attack probably killed. I mean, it didn't kill after Rocks, but that match is all gone. Like that match is done and over. Anyways, I have Draco Meteor, Side Shock, the Fog, and Earthquake the Fog, so I can put a lot of pressure off my Beedrill if he does up the Stuff Rock. Draco Meteor because his switching to Draco Meteor to Whimsicott, which does get to a KO by Side Shock after Rocks, especially since I'm Life Orb, max special attack. So there you go. And I have Earthquake for the Magnet Zone with 40 attack. Earthquake does 99.6 to 100 something percent to the standard Magnet Zone if he specs. If he's more defensive invested, it might not kill, but it'll still have a good chance to kill. And if he's not sturdy, it'll automatically, kill most of the time. It's like a 96.6% if I don't get the kill. That would be kind of sad, honestly. Like, I'd probably quit Pokemon if it actually didn't kill. If it's that much of a chance, 99.6%, like, let's be honest. So, yeah, the Earthquake is pretty much for that thing and that thing only. It can also hit the Zardex if I really wanted to. If I didn't want to, miss a Draco Meteor. It might not kill, though, because of only 40 attack investment, and Zard X has a good defense stat, actually. So, it's like 100. It's like 100 something. Correct me if I'm wrong. So, what else is there? Like, Draco's just for general nuking. His switch into this thing will probably and always be his Umbreon if he brings it, which he probably will, for, his Wish Cleric. But yeah, this thing is just a general offensive pressure Pokemon that it could put pressure on his Rhyperior, his Weezing, his Braviary, his Zard X because I outspeed unless he's +1, Magnezone with Earthquake, and the only thing it really just doesn't get, the only thing it kind of gets offense, the only thing that stops it is if Whimsicott is already on the field and outspeeds me, obviously, or the Umbreon, and those two things could be easily dealt with my Liberty, not my Umbreon. Really. But anyways, you'll see the item on this thing, but I do end up bringing the Shed Shell, as you'll see. In my match. Yes, my match has already, done and happened, so sorry about that. My brother wanted wanted to talk to me. Anyways, and my dog's under me. Hey, Pepe. Anyways, I brought the Shed Shell so I can not get trapped by Magnezone if he is Magnet Pull. So yeah, that was good to have because I do kind of want to keep this thing around for Braviary, just in case I have to sack something. I have the Gyro the Psychic, the Earthquake, and the Stuff Rock. Max Special Defense, Max HP, 4 Defense, because even with 4 Defense, Braviary can't do too much to me. Now, Earthquake is for the Magnezone, it does 2 KO Magnezone. It does 2 KO Magnezone unless he's Sugar Berry. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention about Lottie. Earthquake doesn't kill Sugar Berry, obviously. It will do like 50%. Anyways, Earthquake is for the Magnezone 2 kills unless it's Sugar Berry. It also hits the Zard X, but it won't kill Zard X because I'm not attack invested. Psychic is for the Bronzong, so I don't have to switch, and I don't have a lot of switch-ins to Weezing because you can click Willow, you can click Sludge Bomb, and my Celebi doesn't want to take it on, my Azumarill doesn't want to take it on, my Beedrill doesn't want to get Willowed, my Lottie doesn't want to get Sludge Bomb and get poisoned, so yeah, I want to have Psychic so I don't have to switch, basically. And my Gyro Ball is so I can just absolutely nuke the Whimsicott, even if he's not speed invested, and even if he's not speed invested, it will do a good amount. If he's max speed, it would probably kill. So yeah, that's the point of my Bronzong. It's to take hits, set up the rocks if he doesn't bring the Hitmontop, and even if he does bring the Hitmontop, it puts pressure on his Hitmontop to have to spin for his Zard, and it gives me opportunity to go to my Lottie. He will most likely switch, and I get to Defog. So yeah, that was kind of my logic there. My next Pokemon is my Jose the Sharpedo. But before I go over Jose the Sharpedo, I should probably go over Celebi, because these two are going to probably synergize throughout the match. My leftover Celebi has Nasty Plot, Baton Pass, Giga Drain, and Earth Power. Nasty Plot for, just to set up my special attack to a good amount. With the Giga Drain for the, just for stab. Absolutely okay as the Rhyperior, unless he's the Rindo Berry. It also hits it also hit general stat for the Suicune absolutely destroys it. Well, it doesn't destroy it at plus 2, but it'll do a huge amount of damage for the you can trade for the Hitmontop at plus 2 or just for HP. It also hits doesn't really hit too much. But the only problem with this set is that it gets walled by Weezing. I can't touch Weezing, and I can't just click Psychic and destroy it. And the reason why I don't have Psychic is because I want to have Earth Power so I can hit the Magnezone. Especially defensive, so I can actually handle a Magnezone's Flash Cannon if he specs. It will do a KO most of the time. After leftovers, it might not though, because it's like 44 to 53% if he's modest specs. But Earth Power is just so I can absolutely hit it really hard. It won't kill, but it'll do a good amount. And then I can, if I find out these specs, I can switch into my Liberty, and I can, go for Stealth Rock, go for Earthquake, and I can just put pressure on him. And yeah, that's kind of my thought process there. And I have the nasty plot baton pass, so I can pass into my Sharpedo, as you'll see after this lets me click on it. Come on, computer. There we go. My Sharpedo, it's max. Actually, wait, no, ignore this. No, in the match it was max special attack. I promise you guys. Yeah, I promise you guys it was max special attack in the match. I 100% guarantee it. I'm sorry, guys. Man, that's kind of embarrassing. But no, because I was experimenting. Because let me tell you guys. Max special attack, Sharpedo, was it the best option in the world? Probably not, because he has an Umbreon, and even at plus 2, Hydro Pump will not do a lot of damage. If I'm plus 4, it will do a KO, but it's kind of hard to go to plus 4 against his team, especially since his Rhyperior may have Mega Horn, so I can't really go for 2 Baton Passes. I mean, 2 Nasty Plots against it. That would be kind of bad. And Foul Play will still do a good amount of damage since I'm not defense invested. I do have the 0 attack bold nature with 0 IV, of course, but since I'm not defense invested, foul play will still do a good amount, and I don't have recover, so I don't have any form of recovery, which kind of sucks. Besides leftovers, of course. And also another thing to mention, he doesn't have a knockoff user, which is really really important because I get to keep my items most of the time, which is pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. He doesn't have a knockoff switch user, which is kind of bad for any team. But anyways, Hydro Pump for huge stab damage, Ice Beam for his Braviary, for his Whimsicott, and yeah, it only hits those two, but it's the type coverage that I need. Dark Pulse for stab, just in case I don't want to risk the miss and it kills, and Protect so I can get my speed boost with my plus 2 potentially, or just the speed boost without the boost, because this thing will still hit pretty hard. Except it will hit everything pretty hard except the Umbreon, which excuse me. Now looking at it, I should have probably ran like a Swords Dance set with like Zen Headbutt and Seed Bomb, but even then I would get walled by the Magnezone, so that wouldn't be good. And but no, the physical Sharpedo was probably the better option this week with Earthquake. But the match is already over, so it doesn't really matter. Yep, the match will be up tomorrow, so yeah, that'll be cool. And now my last and most special Pokemon of this week is my Azumarill Young Bleezes. Well, with Whirlpool, Encore, Perish Song, and Rest. With max HP, max defense, and 100 special defense. In reality, I should have had Protect over Encore because, you kind of need Protect on a Perish Trap Pokemon. Shoot, my battery side. Anyways, I have the Whirlpool, so I can trap his Suicune, I can trap his Art X if he doesn't have Thunder Punch, I wall it to death. I can trap his Umbreon, I can trap his Hitmontop, then I can trap his Gothorita even, which is kind of ironic. So, unless he's, yeah, anyways. Those Pokemon that I mentioned are huge, and I mean huge problems to my team. So, not the Hitmontop, but the Umbreon, the Zardex, and the Suicune are huge problems to my team. So if I can trap them with Whirlpool and go for Perish Song, I'm absolutely golden. And I have the rest. I can keep my HP up if he goes for Toxic against me. And the Encore, I felt like was good because just in case the Charizard went for Dragon Dance against me, I would be able to just Encore it. And that would be great. But the only problem with that is that if he goes up to plus 3 and his Encore would end before the Perish Song, it depends. Depends. But in all reality, Protect was better, so I can, just not have to play any mind games with Encore, and that wouldn't end. yeah, overall protect was just a better option. But the set, in my opinion, will definitely work. If I go for the whirlpool, I will be killing the Pokemon that I go for whirlpool up with, unless he switches into like Magnezone, predicting like something. Unless he predicts the defensive set, that would be bad. And he goes like Magnezone, that wouldn't be good because I don't have much of a switching to Latios. I mean to Magnezone, excuse me. So that's pretty much the team, I believe. So let me go over the general game plan. General game plan. I'm gonna most likely lead with my Beedrill because I expect him to want to lead with his Rhyperior for Stealth Rock. I go for the U-turn, and if he stays in, I can go into Celebi because there's no way he'll click Mega Horn if he does have it turn one. Then I Baton Pass. If he stays in, that would be good information because he might be Rindleberry. And then I go into my Bronzong. I go for my own Stuff Rock, and then I pressure him to go into Hitmontop if he does have it. Go for the Rapid Spin while I go to my Lottie, and then I go for the Fog, and I set off onto pressure, and then the rest of the turns will play out. That's just my opinion, though. I'm excited to play Yams, especially after he's sniped so many Pokemon for me, like Umbreon and Hitmontop. So I'm definitely excited to play him, and it'll be a good time, and I hope you guys enjoy the match when it does go up. So yeah, without further ado, that's all for me. So if you like the team builder, leave a like and subscribe. I hopefully plan on trying to edit my videos a little better because you know a good edited video makes the video more enjoyable for the person watching it, and I want to make sure I enjoy and entertain every single person that watches my videos. So, anyways, that's all for me. I'll be seeing you in the battle rather shortly. So, without further ado, au revoir, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.